YTBC, what's the deal? Now I know I covered the heavyweights, but this is a fight that interests me, and there was some talks going around that the fight wasn't finalized yet. I've seen a lot of fans were trying to imply that Ward was scared, and this whole narrative of Ward's is a scary fighter, But anyways, the fight is set like I knew it would be for March 26th in Oakland. Andre Ward versus Sullivan Barrera. Now I've been going back trying to watch some of Barrera fights. I've watched quite a few fights. I'm watching the Murat fight right now again, the Lacey fight, Joel Godfrey. Just trying to watch some fights and watch him train, watch him work with Sanchez, and watch him work with Triple G. Triple G on the Dante's Nations boxing video. Shout out to Dante's channel. There's a interesting video of Triple G showing Barrera how to work on the inside by using his head and placing your head under your opponent's chin and being able to control your opponent with the top of your head and work inside and be right up in his chest. Man, I mean, first let me before I get into the prediction, the fight, I have to bring this up because it's nobody's a robot, man. And I know Andre Ward is very skilled, hasn't lost since he was 12 years old, gold medal. I know all that. It kind of goes without saying now. I know Andre Ward's history, and I know those of you that are listening to me, you know his history. You know he hasn't lost in years. We understand that, and I know some people don't want to hear this, but it is the facts, man. You just can't overlook this shit like it's not there. I'm just curious, about Ward's inactivity. I'm just curious about it. Now, it could be the best thing that could happen to him. This could be a blessing in disguise. Getting a break and being fresh and having fresh legs, as they say. But in 2012 you fought Dawson, one fight. 2013 you fought Edwin Rodriguez, one fight. Now that Rodriguez win is starting to look even better. Rodriguez was undefeated then. That's his only loss. He was on what was that, PBC? Was it PBC? Fought Michael Sills in an exciting fight. Both guys were going down, and then he also beat another undefeated prospect, Craig Baker. And then 2014, no fight. Then 2015, one fight. And then you're supposed to fight again towards the end of last year. Your knee was swollen. Now, if that's true, it's like, man, your knee got swollen in training. Is it because you took too much time off from the gym? I don't know. I'm just speculating, just putting it out there, man, because sometimes we think, not just Andre Ward, but we think these guys are just robots, man. Like, they can just come back from being inactive and just dominate people. And it doesn't always work like that. Now, are there times great fighters have came back off late? Of course. But I'm just saying, it's just something that I look at, man, because I don't value fighters as robots. They're humans, but he's been very inactive, man. And Sullivan Barrera, he doesn't have a long career. He is 33 years old. He's been pro since 2009. 17-0 with the 12 knockouts. Cuban fighter. Now, with a lot of other Cuban fighters like Rigo and Ortiz and Mike Perez and some of these guys, Sullivan doesn't have those type of movements, to me, in my opinion. Now, maybe when you watch him you see something different, but I don't see those those awkward slick type movements and head movement, and I just don't see that. But he is tough as hell. I'm not saying he's not tough, but I think he's more of a come forward guy that wants to wing shots and get mid-range with you and air shots out like that. He really doesn't come across as the back foot defensive slipping shots type of guy. Maybe he's working with Sanchez. Maybe he's picking up some of that Triple G in him, which isn't a bad thing, but he doesn't fight like the typical, from my perspective, the typical Cuban type of fighter. Guy, Roberto Bellato was a guy, some of you probably don't know, the 92 Olympic Games. He won the gold medal, super heavyweight. And he was making those Brian Nielsen and all them dudes, he was making them look stupid in there, man, with his footwork and head movement and slipping and combinations. You got guys like Rigo who counter punches. So I'm not saying Barrera doesn't move his head or he's just this upright fighter, but it's just not what, he doesn't fight like how a typical Cuban defensive fighter fights, in my opinion. That's my opinion, all right? But Ward, 31 years old, 6 feet. Barrera, 33, 6'2". Barrera has a 2-inch reach advantage, 73 versus Ward, 71. Barrera has fought a few times in his career, 196, 195. I think another time at 188, I believe, 183 or something. Obviously, Ward has the better resume with everything he did in 2010, 11, the Dawson win. You know, man, just this inactivity. And I'm watching Barrera fight. He is a big, strong motherfucker, man. This dude is a strong guy. But as far as the fight, you know, I'm watching this Andre Ward, Paul Smith as I'm doing this video, and I'm watching Murat versus Barrera. And I was gonna watching the Lacey fight. I mean, one thing I noticed about Paul Smith is he landed some good jabs on Andre Ward in the beginning few rounds. I believe it was like round 3. I can't remember exactly, but once he landed a good jab, you could almost tell Ward kind of said, okay, you're not landing that no more. And then once Paul Smith let another jab go, because you could tell he kind of got confidence, so he threw out another jab, right? He threw out another jab. As soon as he did that, he got countered with an uppercut. I mean, it was fast as hell. It was almost like Andre Ward said, okay, I'm gonna make you put your jab up. You're not gonna jab tonight. It's gonna be high guard city for you. You're gonna fight me out of your high guard. And once Ward took his jab away, it was almost, now, not to say that Smith didn't jab again, but it wasn't with that same confidence. It wasn't with the same flick. He wasn't flicking it. It was like once he got countered, he didn't want to throw the jab because it was almost he was worried about being countered. So then once he put the high guard up, then it was just Ward was just picking him off. He was walking him down. He was moving backwards, making Paul Smith walk in the shots. He was turning Paul Smith. He just outclassed him, but he did it by taking his jab away. At least that's what I saw in the fight. Then Ward started to get comfortable, back him up, started landing combinations, and started letting his hand go a little bit more. But as the fight progressed, but he took his jab away from him early. Not to say Paul Smith is this master jabber, but the jab landed flush on Ward, and Ward just took it away. Barrera, quick hands and powerful, man. It's just, it almost made me think like, what's gonna, you know, if Ward gets cracked, man, you know, I think Ward is tough though. He's not gonna get hit and fall down, man, you know, and but he's gonna have to be aware for these sneaky little punches Barrera likes to throw when they're at close range, especially this uppercut that he hit Murat with and put his ass down. It came out of nowhere, but Barrera likes to fight with his hands down sometimes. He's not defensively responsible enough for me to fight Ward and be effective. I think if Barrera gets his jab taken away from him, he's going to have to, I mean, it's going to be a shutout if he gets that jab taken away, because he was working his jab even in the Lacey fight when he was jabbing and walking Lacey down with shots. He was jabbing Lacey and walking him down with shots, and he started to land at that good, you know, good right hands behind it. I don't know if he's going to have that same success with a guy like Andre Ward. I think Ward's going to win this fight, unanimous decision. I'm going to say I'm going to go 9 rounds to 3. And the other 3 rounds that Barrera probably wins. 2 of them he'll, you know, probably just do more work. Maybe it was, you know, it's a round or 2 that Ward takes off. And what I mean by taking off by just jabbing. Maybe Ward will elect to jab with them, and maybe Sullivan can get the better of that, working around by jabbing and mixing in some combos while Ward's just jabbing and defending and kind of moving away and circling or something. But I just see him being outclassed, but he has the strength and power, man, and size advantage on Ward. It's just going to be interesting to see once Barrera gets his jab taken away. Ward is pretty good at taking away your jab. And if he doesn't take it away by countering your jab, he'll take it away by just stepping right to you and getting right in your chest. Now, maybe that may be his downfall. If Ward can't take his jab away from the outside and he tries to step to him, maybe that may work in Sullivan Barrera's hands, and maybe Barrera can start using his size and strength. And maybe let's see if he can do some of the things that Triple G was showing him. But he is a taller man than Ward, so it's going to be kind of hard for him to get his chin underneath. So maybe he needs to take some advice from Evander Holyfield, because Holyfield was able to put his chin under Mike Tyson and walk him back. Some people, you know, said it was just blatant headbutts, but you know what I mean. But once Ward feels as if he has you hurt or wounded or bloodied or battered, he will start walking forward and he will turn up the heat. Now, Ward isn't a huge power puncher, but he will start letting his hands go. And if he breaks you down and you're taking enough shots, he will go down. But if he hurts Barrera, maybe that's another instance where Barrera can have a chance if Ward think he's, you know, he has him hurt or bloodied him or start to walk him down. Maybe Barrera can stand on his back foot and just let some hooks and right hands and left hooks go. But I see Ward winning this fight. I just think he's going to outclass him. But this is a tough test, man. This is going to be a tough test. Damn, this is just a hard one to call because this inactivity to me, man. And I'm I'm not a big fan of guys just being very inactive and coming back and just think they're gonna, be as good as gold. But Ward's only 31 years old. He's not an old guy. He's not coming back. He's not 37, 38, 39 years old. But Barrera, he looks kind of crude in some of his fights, like the Lacey fight. Although and he was just fighting completely downhill in that one, man. He started to just rain left hooks and right hands. But if he fights a measured fight, if he tries to fight Ward in the middle of the ring, I think he gets outboxed. Ward's gonna start the just play chess with him, and they'll have a jabbing contest, and then Ward will start the have different variations of he'll feint up downstairs and then go upstairs with the right hand, or feint upstairs and then a straight right hand to the body, or he'll start feinting with his jab upstairs and then jab down. So I mean, I think he's more witty, he's more crafty than Barrera. But Barrera does have the strength and the size. He is a muscular dude, muscular back, muscular shoulders. He is a big, well put together guy, man. So if he gets Ward hurt, or he gets Ward's respect with some power, it could be interesting. But I think Ward's going to take away his weapons, man. His jab, by just countering it with his own lead, or not lead, but countering it with a power shot. If Ward starts to land lead power shots, it's really going to be a whitewash. But I'm gonna go with Andre Ward, man. But Sullivan Barrera might not be as easy as some of you may think. But I'm gonna go with Ward in this fight with the experience, and I think he's just gonna know how to just take away some of Barrera's assets, and I think he will be a little bit stronger than Barrera would think. And Ward is a strong inside fighter. I mean, Carl Froch isn't as big and strong as Barrera, but Carl Froch isn't some weakling, you know what I mean? And so Saki Obika, the same thing. You may not think much of Obika's style and skill, but he's a strong, rough, tough dude that you'll go in there with and have to deal with. So I'm gonna go with Andre Ward in this fight, man. And then this will, see how he's gonna do in this fight, and then we'll see what goes on from there as far as the Kovalev fight. But I'm gonna go with SOG in this fight by decision. I think he's gonna just be the better fighter. YTBC, I'm out.